if he doesn't block, which I doubt he will. He could or wild slash one, but I think he's going to wild slash the pile driver. His pile driver is way more important to kill than any of those 2 mana guys or 2 damage guys. So Carter's thinking, and he's going to take it down to 12. Yep, it's going to clear out pile driver and pass turn from Bill. Jeskai Charm's going to be the draw. Carter's going to look at his graveyard. He has 5 cards in graveyard. He has enough to dig through time if he wants. He's going to go ahead and Jace first. Jace is going to flip off of this activation and become Jace Telepath Unbound. Yeah, this is a standard game. We're going between standard and modern. So next round it'll be modern. But yeah, this round's going to be standard. And Jace discarding Temple of Triumph, flipping into the Telepath, who knows no bounds, like the Mind Sculptor shows. He's going to keep it at 5 right now, debating on spinning it up to 6 if he does. Yeah, that Goblin Glory Chaser is not going to do anything. Bill's going to untap and draw, and he plays a Mountain. Plays a Hordling Outburst, gets a bunch of goblins. So yeah, Bill gets to attack with both of these Glory Chasers. Neither can be blocked because of Renown. He probably gets to attack with a Foundry Street Denizen too, since he gets triple triggers. He trades with the Manus, or yeah, he's definitely... Well, he's not attacking with the other Goblin. That's bizarre to me. He has his reasons. Reasons that I might not know right now, and Bill obviously does know. I mean, you could flash back a Wild Slash or a Lightning Bolt, or Strike, I mean. Carter's 2 cards in hand. We know both of them. I think it's a Dig and a Jeskai Charm. Bill doesn't know his hand, but I think Bill still should have swung with a Goblin Glory Chaser. But either way, Carter's going to take 2, going down to 9. And his draw for turn was a Seeker of the Way, not great. Carter looks like he might actually just be in trouble this game. He does have a Jace. Jace +1 and targeted that Glory guy. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I figured it before I actually read the chat. I figured it out myself. I looked and saw that there was a Jace in play. So, sorry, Bill. That's what happens when you actually pay attention. You figure things out and play correctly. So, good on you. Carter's definitely deep in the tank here. He could dig through time, just see what he gets off the top of his deck, and he needs a land. He needs, like, land Wild Slash, and then that's not even great, as he's going to go down to 4. He could Jeskai Charm one of the things back to the top. He could just play the Seeker and maybe hope that Bill doesn't do anything, along with a Jace Plus on a Goblin Glory Chaser. But, yeah. Thanks to everybody watching. This is Kenny from Hometown Hobbies. We're at 1119 4th Avenue in Huntington, West Virginia. It's a pretty awesome place. Right on either side of us. On the right side of us, we have a comic book shop. On the left side of us, we have the retro video game store, which is actually where I'm streaming from. And he's going to get in there with all of them and attack for 4 total, knocking Carter down to 5. But yeah, so it goes like Pizza Place, Rare Drops, Hometown Hobbies, Purple Earth Comics. So you got your pizza, your video games, your card games, and your comic books all in one, all within like 50 feet of each other? Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't love that? So if you ever get a chance and you're in Huntington, West Virginia, check us out. We are like the nerd capital of the U.S. I'm going to just say that. I don't know if we actually are. I don't care if that's a thing. We are. So if you want to hang out with some nerds who knows what they're talking about, for the most part, sometimes I have no idea what I'm actually talking about, and I just say things to say them. But for the most part, most of us know what we're talking about. So if you want to hang out with us and, you know, play some Magic and get better at the game, come on down to Hometown Hobbies. And also, if you have a shirt, you get Planner constructed FNMs for free. So there's always a plus. And I'm sure at some point we will offer like a some kind of support, like if you wear one of our shirts and you are on camera like at a Star City event, or if you wear one of our shirts and you top that event, you know, you might get some little extra goodies thrown your way. You never know. It's not out of the question for things like that to happen, so it's always in your best interest to support your store, whether it's us, whether it's Star City Games, Channel Fireball, any place. It's always good to support your local. Untap from Bill is going to draw, and it looked like maybe a lightning strike. I don't know. Bill's going to attack with the Goblin Glory Chaser. It's going to be not blockable. It's going to knock Carter down to 3. Carter's going to take it. That's dangerous range. Mountain Pass. In step, Carter's going to lose 1 down to 2. And he's going to dig through time. That was a lot of lands. Wow. That was a lot of lands on that. I mean, he needed lands, but he didn't need 6 or so. Whatever it was. Well, that's okay. As Carter didn't scoop, so that means that he's not out of this game, especially with a life-linking Seeker of the Way. Bill has to draw a burn spell, as now Carter is slowly getting advantage back in this game. Jace can really help with that, especially when he targets his Goblin Glory Chaser with his +1. Yeah, this is going to be just bad for Bill now, I think. Soulfire Grandmaster's going to come down. That's going to be 4 damage life gain. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for Bill, I think. Carter is down to 2 life, though, from the Shivan Reef. So he's down to 1 life. He's going to go up to 5. He's going to go up to 8. And Bill is going to probably just take that 3, going down to 15. Or apparently 12, as I did not mark Bill that last life loss, apparently. So we'll see if that's correct. It should be 8 to 12. Hopefully I have the life totals as correct as I can. Nope, 8 to 8. Close but no cigar. Bill's going to knock the top of his deck, and it looks like that was not the card he needed. So this game 1 might go to Carter, especially with the Jace flashing back a Jeskai Charm. It's going to... I mean, he might not flash back a Jeskai Charm, but that's going to put him well out of range of goblins. Actually, you probably don't. You probably just... You just plus Jace and make it to where that goblin never deals damage. So he's gonna do the charm. And Bill's gonna scoop. So we're gonna go to game 2. Carter is up 1-0 after a game I thought he was gonna lose, but Bill did not draw a burn spell. So we have goblins and Jeskai. The Jeskai deck is a very, very strong deck, as you saw. The power of Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. For those of you who don't know what it does, I'm going to go ahead and recap it for you really quick. It's 1 and a blue to cast. It's a legendary creature. He is a 0/2, and it says, tap this creature to draw a card, then discard a card. If the card you discarded was the 5th or more card in your graveyard, I'm trying to think, if you have 5 or more cards in your graveyard after this ability resolves, I think is how it says, flip it and transform it into Jace Telepath Unbound. Jace Telepath Unbound comes in with 5 loyalty, has a +1. +1 says, give target creature -2/-0 until your next turn. He has a -3. -3 says, give target card in your graveyard flashback equal to its converted mana cost, basically Snapcaster Mage. And the final ability is -9, and I believe it's whenever you get, or your opponent gets an emblem, that whenever a spell is cast by you, your opponent mills 5. I'm pretty sure is what the ultimate is. The ultimate on that Jace is not one of the stronger ones. It's still not bad. Like, you're going to win as soon as you... Well, not as soon as you ultimate, but you're probably going to win if you're ultimating that Jace. Unless you're just doing it just to do it. But I'll go ahead and read what he actually does. So it's draw a card, discard a card. If there are 5 more cards in your graveyard, exile Jace, and then return him transformed. And his -9 is you get an emblem with, whenever you cast a spell, target opponent puts the top 5 of their deck into the graveyard. So I just worded it very differently, but I got its ability right. Usually I do not. Usually I just guess what cards do, and honestly that is the worst thing that you can do, because a lot of times you will unintentionally cheat, or You just make your deck way worse than you wanted it to, like in Limited. Like, I've had multiple decks, I just thought I knew what a card did and played it. For example, there's a card in the new set that's 2 and a green, and I believe it says whenever you cast a creature with power 3 or more, you draw a card. I thought it was power 3 or less, so I put it in a token deck, and I had to concede a game where I drew a card. I actually lost that game either way. I won the match, but you better believe in the next game that card was out of my deck. But yeah, it's always for the best that you actually read your cards fully. But yeah, Carter got that first one, so Bill is definitely going to be on the play. And yeah, Bill's going to definitely be on the play this game. Bill's really hoping to get a turn 2 pile driver, I'm sure. Or unless he has like 3 Goblin Glory Chasers with a Subterranean Scout, that might be the dream. A Subterranean Scout and Goblin Glory Chaser did work that game. Goblin Glory Chaser is not a card to be messed with. For those of you who don't know what it does, it's a 1/1 for a single red, and it says Renown 1. So whenever it deals damage, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. And if Goblin Glory Chaser's renowned, it gains Menace. Menace is the new keyword for those of you who don't know. For the it's the new ability keyword for this creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. So if you're menacing, you can't be blocked except by 2 or more. Going to keep it, no 1-drop. That's not great for Bill, but hey, it doesn't matter as he has lands and spells to cast, and looks like Carter does too, but no Jason side at the moment. A turn 2 Goblin Fodder. Cool. Or Dragon Fodder, not Goblin Fodder. It basically is Goblin Fodder. So you're going to see a Jeskai Charm, I believe, go to the top of the Temple of Epiphany. And yes, I did say that wrong on purpose. I also say Temple of Milady, as I think most people should. Carter's going to go down to 18, and a second Dragon Fodder is going to come down for Bill, who's going to now have 4 Goblins in play. If he has an Arc Lightning, he's done. Is that what that is? What is that? Oh, it's the, I think it's Seismic Rupture, maybe? It deals, I'm not sure, it's out of Dragons, I think. So, Bill, without even missing a beat, just plays a Hordling Outburst to regain 3 of those Goblins back. And we're going to see double Dragon Fodder from Carter. So this is the Battle of the Goblins. And I would say that Bill's Goblins are better because he plays a lot more of them. But Carter is probably in a way better position if he has tokens in play. Yep, Tack is going to clear out 3 of the Goblins. He still has 1. Foundry Street into Searing Blood is going to deal 3 to Carter, knocking him down to 15. So we have a Foundry Street in Bill's hand with... That might be Exquisite Firecraft. It'd be the first time we've had it on stream, and I'm not sure what the art looks like too well, as I'm still getting used to learning the origin arts. I think that's an Exquisite Firecraft. So Seismic Rupture is the card that Carter played. Bill's going to draw for turn. Exquisite Firecraft. So it was what I thought. It's going to deal 4 to that. With Spell Mastery too, I believe, which doesn't matter as much. Wild Slash is going to come down to clear out the Foundry Street Denizen. And Bill's probably going to pass it back with, I think, 2 cards in hand. Carter's at a cushiony 14 life. He is just knocking the top of his deck and playing lands and passing, though. So Bill draws a Wild Slash, plays out what I'm not sure what that is, honestly. It gets to attack, though, for some number. It's going to put Carter to 12. And it has Renown. So it has Renown and Haste. That is a Goblin that I'm not sure what it is. I don't know what happens when it's Renown, other than it might just be Renown. But he's going to go down to 9. And Carter's up 1-0, so if he loses this one, he gets to play first in Game 3. Dig Through Time's the draw, though, and he's just going to main phase that. He's going to not lose 1, actually. So, you can see the top 7 come off of the top of Carter's deck. 5 lands to the bottom, and I believe it was 2 spells to the top, and he's looking at his exiled pile really quick. He had Seeker and Ojutai's Command to his hand. He hasn't played a land, so